You're watching KCAU 9 News.
And good evening at 10. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Tim Seaman.
And I'm Sophie Erber. Artificial intelligence, or AI, is rising in popularity, including the program ChatGPT, but those programs might also be used to gain an unfair advantage at school.
KCAU 9 News reporter Jason Toctasian spent the day speaking with a local university about the challenges and benefits of using AI in the classroom. It's our top story tonight at 10.
Tim and Sophie, artificial intelligence programs like ChatGPT are capable of generating test answers, book summaries, and even entire essays, all with the click of a button. On November 30th, 2022, the artificial intelligence tool ChatGPT launched online.
Just simply a computer program that accepts as input natural language questions. You can ask it pretty much anything you would like, and it can give you very good answers to very basic questions.
A powerful resource that students and faculty at Morningside University are aware of.
It has produced quite a bit of consternation among fellow faculty about, are we plagiarizing things? Are students using this to plagiarize materials? And again, as I mentioned before, this has been trained on kind of the breadth of human knowledge.
If students plagiarize with AI programs like ChatGPT, Morningside's Chief Information Officer says that's not a good idea.
We've got things in place to look for that kind of plagiarism. In fact, we use a software called Turnitin. Turnitin has a new offering out, and it's specifically for ChatGPT.
However, Professor Stevens says ChatGPT can also be used to enhance the learning experience for students.
It can do a variety of different languages, whether that be spoken languages like German and French and English, but it also works on computer languages. One of the things you can do is ask it to write you a very simple program using a language like Python.
It's that evolution of technology, and we're at that place. I kind of look back and think of the days when I was in high school and I couldn't use a scientific calculator to do algebraic equations, right?
ChatGPT is not a free tool. It does cost $20 a month to run the ChatGPT Plus service. Jason Toctasian, KCAU 9 News.
Elsewhere tonight, the city of South Sioux City will soon be saying goodbye to its fire chief. Tonight, council members announced that Terry Johnson will be leaving his job. Johnson was named the city's fire chief back in October of 2021. He brought more than 30 years of experience to the South Sioux City Department. Johnson's last day on the job is set for March 16th.
The department has really evolved in the last year. We have phenomenal people. Great paramedics, great firefighters that provide excellent EMS and fire service.
He really brought a lot of professionalism to that department. We have the best trained people we've ever had, so I think we should recognize Chief for what great work he's done.
For now, there's no word on when a search for his replacement will begin. Also at that meeting this evening, Siouxland's Midwest Honor Flight received a generous donation from South Sioux City Community Schools. The school district passing along a check for $4,200, which is enough to send 5 veterans on a flight. That money was raised through events that the school put on, including donations from local businesses as well as the selling of mini airplane gliders. A South Sioux City man accused of theft and fraud of customers at his RV business has been offered a plea agreement by the state.
63-year-old Douglas Brass is facing a total now of 50 charges in 2 different cases. As part of the plea deal, he could plead guilty or no contest to a combined 13 charges. In exchange, the state recommends a sentence that includes serving 5 years probation concurrently. He and his wife, Shara, were arrested back in April of 2022 on a total of 10 charges. The pair pled not guilty in June and July of 2022. It was after a 4-month-long investigation that found them receiving campers from owners on consignment, but made no attempt to pay the original owners. An entry of plea hearing is scheduled now for March 21st for Douglas. Shara has a pretrial conference set for that same day. And South Dakota Attorney General Marty Jackley announced 3 attorneys will join his office now as assistant attorneys generals, including one from Siouxland. Alexis Tracy will be joining the state attorney general's office as of June 1st as an assistant attorney general in the criminal division. She's currently the Clay County state attorney. Tracy has been an attorney for 17 years and has been a prosecuting attorney for more than 16 years. She was first elected Clay County State Attorney back in 2016. She was re-elected in 2020. Well, there's a new book out about two teenage girls from Vermilion who seemingly went missing back in the 1970s, and what happened to them was a mystery for a couple decades.
The investigation into the disappearance became South Dakota's most infamous cold case. Reporter Don Jorgensen explains more.
So 1971, Memorial Day weekend, two Vermilion High School juniors, Pam Jackson and Sherry Miller, were on their way to the end of the year party.
But the two teenage girls never arrived. What happened to them was a story shrouded in mystery for decades, and now it's all well documented in a new book written by former KCAU-TV reporter Lou Raguse. It's called Vanished in Vermilion, the real story of South Dakota's most infamous cold case.
You might know how this ends, but you have no idea how it happened. There's a lot of stuff in the book that has never been reported anywhere.
He knows that for a fact because of all the extensive research of law enforcement files and in-depth interviews he did for his book that took about 5 years to write. In it, you'll find out the sheriff at the time insisted the two girls had run away, and it wasn't long before the case had gone cold. But it was reopened in 2004 when South Dakota formed a cold case unit to begin looking into old unsolved mysteries. The Pam Jackson and Sherry Miller case went to the top of their list, and it wasn't long before this man, David Licken, a local kid at the time of the girls' disappearances, became their #1 suspect.
It wasn't until after David Licken had been convicted of rape and was at the South Dakota Penitentiary that they started to think, oh, well, maybe the girls accidentally drove onto his farm. He was 16 at the time, same grade as them. Maybe they accidentally ended up there and he did something to them, and they even blamed his family of trying to cover it up.
In 2007, David Licken was charged with murdering and raping the two girls, even though no bodies had ever been found. And that's when investigators began digging deeper, a lot deeper. They tore up the Licken farm near Alcester from top to bottom, searching for evidence of any kind. Raguse covered it for KCAU-TV at the time.
Remember when they searched the farm here, they said that they found clothing, a red purse, bones, automobile parts. What does that sound like? That sounds like it's evidence that points right to what happened.
Raguse has it all well documented in his book and the mistakes that were made by law enforcement.
It was just old clothing that they had at the farm, a purse that the kids played with in a playhouse, chicken bones, automobile parts that might have been part of an old refrigerator, actually, not even belonging to a car.
The truth. That's exactly why Raguse wrote the book, to set the record straight once and for all.
Again, that's Don Jorgensen reporting, and tomorrow night we'll bring you the second part of this mystery, including where the investigation takes officials. That's again tomorrow night, right here at 10.
The Iowa Business Council is praising the importance of diversity, equity, and inclusion without criticizing Republican lawmakers who oppose those efforts.
The coalition of 21 leaders of the state's largest companies released its yearly Iowa Competitive Dashboard. That dashboard stated that, quote, the IBC believes a commitment to advancing diversity, equity, and inclusion is a fundamental element of corporate success and responsibility. This year, Iowa Republican legislators have discussed restricting discussions about gender identity at schools and ending DEI programs at the state's universities.
The council says they reaffirm their commitment to the value of DEI efforts in the workplace.
So the Iowa Business Council believes in creating a welcoming and inclusive environment throughout our member organizations. Our association acts on this by dedicating time at each board meeting to discuss best practices and share perspectives and strategies on how businesses can continue to be welcoming and inclusive to every Iowan within our organizations.
The Iowa Workforce Development website shows more than 72,000 listings for job openings now, and that's more than 20,000 higher than the official number of unemployed residents in the state.
Time to talk some weather.
Yeah.
Good evening, Mr. Larson.
Hello. How's it going?
Well, it's going good tonight, but it sounds like that could be changing, right?
It could be a real roller coaster to end out our official streak of winter this year.
Yeah, the next couple of days look decent. Tomorrow would be nice if not for the wind, which is, one of those common Midwest phrases. But at least we get a little taste of spring, as it looks like our temperatures should make a nice jump into the 40s tomorrow and likely the 50s on Wednesday. Later this week, on Thursday, there is a good likelihood of a wintry mix with some rain and snow. And then, unfortunately, we chill things off dramatically as we head into St. Patrick's Day with highs only in the 20s. Here's the view outside now, currently from our Ho-Chunk Center camera in downtown Sioux City. The view is brought to us by Port Neal Welding Company, where currently we have mostly clear skies above. Looks like temperatures will be in free fall down near 15 for the overnight low. Checking the almanac for today, our high temperature this afternoon was 28. You can see that is 18 degrees shy of the typical high for today of 46 and well under the record, which was set 11 years ago, of 81 degrees in Sioux City. Wouldn't that be nice? Here's a look at what's happening right now. It is only 21. Again, we have mostly clear skies. The wind is driven from the east. We have that sustained at 3 miles an hour with a feels-like temperature out there of 16. Checking out temperatures, those are in the teens and 20s at this moment. 21 in Cherokee and Sioux City, 20 the update in Wayne. And the wind is from the northeast. We have that sustained at under 10 miles per hour. Currently at 6 in Tacoma, 7 in Wayne and Bloomfield, now at 5 in Yankton, South Dakota. Wind chills, those are pretty close to our current air temperatures since the wind is not particularly strong. Since we are going to have a calm situation overnight, temperatures will be falling close to the dew point, and there is the possibility of seeing some pockets of fog form. However, it looks like visibility is in fairly good shape right now, currently down to 8 miles in Tacoma, so there might be a little bit of thin fog down that way, but by and large, looks like things are all right. Just something to keep in mind for the morning commute tomorrow. There could be a pocket or two of fog here and there. Looking at the satellite and radar picture, it was a very gray day out there, but towards sunset, we did see some peaks of sunshine. That was a nice change of pace, and it looks like we'll have some more sunshine to soak in for our Tuesday. As we look forward here into tomorrow afternoon, mostly sunny skies will be with us. Again, the one caveat there is that the wind is going to be quite strong with some gusts between 30 and 40 miles per hour. As we get into Wednesday, a genuinely spring-like day, highs in the middle to upper 50s, possibly even touching 60 in some locations in Siouxland. Again, it won't last for particularly long, though. We do expect to see a wintry mix come our way on Thursday. This forecast model is shifting things a little further southeast than some of the other outcomes, but again, we will have to continue to watch as we get into Thursday, as some forecast models are really dialing up a lot of snow for Sioux City. So that is something to pay attention to as we approach the weekend, Thursday in particular, with a rain-snow mix. Again, once that passes, we should expect to see some far colder conditions for St. Patrick's Day, with highs in the lower to middle 20s. Mostly clear and cold for tonight. The temperature drops off to 14 in Sioux City. Tomorrow we should anticipate a fair amount of sunshine. It'll be seasonal but breezy with a high temperature of 45. It looks like winds will peak near 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon with gusts between 35 and 40 miles per hour in some locations, and then starting to die off some into Wednesday before we have the arrival of that next front as we get into Wednesday night and Thursday with that system bringing the rain and snow. So looks like the wind is going to be quite powerful for tomorrow. Let's check out the 9-on-9 forecast here. Breezy conditions likely to be a mainstay in the next few days. A high temperature of 56 sure will be enjoyable on Wednesday, though. Thursday, that opportunity at seeing a wintry mix, the high temperature at 39, falling off to 13 Thursday night into Friday, so that could make for some very slippery conditions out there with that rapid freeze. 24 is all that we can manage for St. Patrick's Day, so bundle up if you plan to have any events or heading to the parade. Looks like temperatures will be on the incline next week, but even still, kind of cool in the 30s and 40s.
What's our average supposed to be high temperature-wise once we get into this part of March?
Lower to middle 40s is about where we should be, so generally we're going to be below that as we move through most of this 9-on-9 forecast.
All right, thanks, Scott.